The mission Chattanooga
is an intentionally
rooted,
creative,
diverse,
and empowered community of faith,
seeking to reveal God
and His kingdom
by stewarding His goodness,
truth, and beauty
in our neighborhood,
our city, and the world.
My name is Chris Woodhull, and this is my Mission Chattanooga. I have to admit that I was drawn to this community out of its sense of generosity. Personally, I was going through a time where I was burnt out from ministry, and while I was interested in what you were doing here, what we were doing here, I needed a place to heal. And Mission Chattanooga, the Lord led me right to this place, and it gave me room to heal. What I find most interesting about Mission Chattanooga is it's a fellowship of activists and people of prayer. It's an interesting combination of people who want to get involved in their community and people who are also deeply attuned to the Lord's leading. And actually, these two kind of movements are in the same people. So I was very drawn to that, and I think that's a very powerful model of a believer. You know, one of the fun parts about my work here in Chattanooga is that I get to meet a lot of people. I used to be a city councilman in Knoxville, and to some extent it sometimes feels like I'm doing the same kind of work because I'm meeting shop owners and entrepreneurs and architects and artists and politicians, and it's really interesting. More and more people are aware of Mission Chattanooga. A lot of them are aware of the camp house, and that's good, and that's why we have the coffee bar. But the Mission Chattanooga vibe is definitely getting out into the city, and that makes my work go really, really well. As I look into the future for Mission Chattanooga, the things that I see us getting involved in is more support and vitality for urban young life. I see us really taking a lead in the Build Me a World campaign, and that you will hear more about that in the future. I see us really being the kind of place where even people from other churches will come and spend time with us and become the citizens of Chattanooga in the way that Jesus taught us to be, and go back and actually work well in their churches. That's what I see.
My name is Joseph Schlabs, and this is my Mission Chattanooga. I first heard about the Mission Chattanooga from my brother about a year ago, summer of 2011. And in May, we went out to Chattanooga. We went from Texas, which is where we've been living, and went and checked out the mission, and we just felt really drawn to it. The first thing we were probably drawn to more than anything else was just the community, the overwhelming sense of belonging, and just the overwhelming sense of unconditional love that we felt among the community of the church. I love the whole idea of being a missionary rather than just being a churchgoer, and it seemed that the mission, even by its very own name, kind of had that identity about itself. And so we just really felt attracted to that, and more our hearts were feeling like God was calling us to move from Texas to Chattanooga. And the other thing on top of all those things that really was really amazing and felt like God was drawing us to is this thing called St. Paul's. And St. Paul's it's called St. Paul's Theological Center, and it's actually based out of the UK. And what it is basically it's seminary for normal people, and it's seminary for people with normal lives. And it's what I love about it is that it's based in local church context. It's based, you actually get training while you're a part of a body of Christ. And so anyway, so St. Paul's is actually opening kind of like a small daughter campus in Chattanooga that's going to be based in the mission in the fall of 2013. My wife and I just felt called to get training, theological training on a deeper level. We both run our own business, and we've never really had the opportunity to be trained and mentored like we feel like we're supposed to be. Even people here in Texas say, why are you guys moving to Tennessee? Like, what? Come on, you have a perfect life here. And a lot of people don't quite get it. And so our hope and dream is that this would be our next step, our next chapter in our call to hopefully pastoral ministry in Chattanooga and beyond. And we feel like that in obeying God and leading us out to be a part of the mission, that God could do mighty things for His kingdom in the city of Chattanooga.
My name is Angie Sorensen, and this is my Mission Chattanooga. This fall, I will be starting a program at Erlanger Hospital for pastoral chaplaincy. And as our congregation grows, there's going to be people having babies, there's going to be people going into the hospital, and we just need someone to be in that position to be able to minister. One of the things that I'm really excited about here at Mission Chattanooga is how collectively as a community we care for people. We are partnered with the Chattanooga Food Bank, which is very exciting. Our church donates money to buy boxes, and these boxes will feed a family of 4 for 3 days with non-perishable items. Another thing that we do that you might not know is we have a tremendous amount of prayer warriors that under tremendous circumstances that people are going through, they can call the number, they can call some of the people on the prayer chain. Another thing that we're doing that's really, really exciting to me is we will be starting the very first AA meeting in the South Side. Also, we're gonna do Al-Anon for spouses and loved ones of people struggling with addiction. And also with the mission exchange and the clothing being so economical that we can clothe people in need. Another one that's very exciting is divorce care. There's many in our midst right now that are in a divorce, have been in a divorce, or in the process of a divorce. And that is a very niche group with different needs, and that's also going to be addressed. We're going to have a divorce care group. We have mental health professionals within Mission Chattanooga that are available for individual counseling. One of our counselors is holding healing and hope groups across the street. So now you're looking at basic needs being met. You're looking at clothing, you're looking at food, and then you're also looking at deep soul care that's so critical. One of the many things I love about Mission Chattanooga is that we are a community that absolutely cares about individuals.
My name is Ben Ferguson, and this is my Mission Chattanooga. Originally, Mary and I were called out here for 2 things. And the first thing was to be, for me at least, to be the pastor of discipleship. And that means developing formal and informal ways for people to go deeper in their relationship with Jesus. Whether that's having community dinners, whether that's Bible studies, whether that's educational opportunities, whether that's opportunities to serve. But actually the main thrust, the reason we were out here for, is to eventually prepare a team and prepare ourselves to plant the first mission chapel. The mission has always had the vision that instead of growing into one gigantic megachurch, that we would instead plant many small communities of faith that were intimate. These are communities of faith that are all connected by a common vision and a common mission, a common type of worship, but have a distinct geographical location in which they work out the gospel of Jesus Christ in the city. As we've prayed and searched the heart of God to know where to plant the chapel, we've looked at places like the North Shore, we've looked at St. Elmo, but as we've prayed about it, we felt like more and more God has placed Highland Park on our hearts. In a sense, we long to create communities of worship and activism that are both intergenerational, that are multi-racial, that cross boundaries that other churches have not been able to cross. And I think God has called us to that, and Highland Park seems to me make more and more sense. When you think about doing mission, you think about going forth and going to some radically different place. But it seems that as we've looked around, God is opening our eyes to the place around us. When I came on here, there was 80 souls worshiping at the Mission Chattanooga. And as I've been here, we've grown explosively. And really it's getting to crunch time for us. We've we've actually almost grown out of the space that we have. And so we're actually thinking about planning as soon as January. God willing, and if He provides the resources and the talent, we're moving forward.